Alright, welcome to the latest episode of Concerts to Consoles. Today, we're back, finally. I got Brian from Madd Dog Tannen here. Let's remove the stuff over our head, over our face here. I'm gonna go with... Good enough, that'll work. I added some camera angles and stuff slowly up in the production. But it also means it's a longer list of things that I have to manage. As you can see in the corner, we're gonna be playing some Paperboy 2. Mostly because it's 2 playing. Well, no. Because it's Paperboy.
It's because the other guys couldn't show up,
That, yes, we'll guilt trip them.
Totally what?
Let's see if I can do this.
It just means we get to talk about them and we can't do
We'll
anything
switch it
about
up.
it.
That's also true. Alright, so we'll switch it here. Let's go right in. You can be a girl or a boy.
I'm going girl.
You can choose your route.
Can you?
I don't know.
Oh.
No, I don't know what that means. And we're going on Easy Street. Not accurate depiction. Alright, so anyways. We only have one, but you can answer everything, right?
I can answer everything, yeah.
I've heard you're the not oldest member.
Actually, I am the oldest member.
The consistent member?
I'm the oldest member, but not the longest standing member of Madd Dog.
There's a certain
We'll go ahead and give that to Sean.
He's very proud of this.
He likes to remind you that too every time I think.
So wait, are we alternating? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I think we alternate between.
Wait, was I supposed to deliver that? I guess so.
Right. I missed a non-subscriber, so.
In mailbox. Nope. Okay, we're gonna figure. This is gonna be like getting used to this. Oh wait, car. I still. I've seen it in the demo and I still did it. Wait, so how does this work? Or did you have to select 2-player?
Ooh, that's a good question. We'll find out here soon, huh?
I guess once I die.
Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, I got points for that, so I guess I was supposed to do that. Why can't... Oh, I have to get on one.
Oh, that's new from Paperboy 1 then, huh?
Yeah, gargoyles that... Close.
Dang, waste that one. We got points for that one.
Monster. Are they really diversified?
Haunted house.
Number 2. Oh, I went off the curb, and now I'm being chased by a ghost. I'm avoiding the gutter. Oops.
Oh, you missed him. There you go.
Yeah. Really relevant reference to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, how long ago did you guys start up?
2000 and... Oh, it was 2006, I think, was our official first show. February 2006.
Where was it playing? What venue?
At O'Brien's Irish Pub on 35th Avenue Northern, which actually, funny enough, is still there.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they play live music anymore. It's a funny story about that, too. So we started playing O'Brien's.
How am I supposed to get that?
Yeah, how's...
Oh.
Yeah, wow.
Why? We can go both directions. There we go. Can I hit that guy?
You can totally hit that guy. Oh, but he hit you back. So to make a long story short, kinda, I guess, without going into too much
Like, how did it all come to being? Let's start from the very beginning.
So I was in a
Clearly,
band
you have
called-
someone related in the band.
A couple people were. I actually only one now, yeah. So to make the Madd Dog Tannen story short, right off, I was in a band called the Lamos before that, and then Sean, my brother, and Kevin were in a band called the Spray Paint Heroes around that same time.
That's an awesome name.
Spray Paint Heroes, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes. They actually still have their demo too, or their little CD.
What if I run her over? Oh, I can't.
No. So, fresh off of those two bands, we weren't really doing anything. So I called Kevin actually, and I said, "Hey, you want to jam some and see what happens?" And we ended up writing some pretty neat stuff. And then from there, Sean came in and started jamming with us. Then Kyle did, and then like I think 3 or 4 months later, we had a show at O'Brien's because we had a friend that was playing there. Tommy, actually, his name is. He plays in is it Voodoo Swing? I think he's in right now.
Oh, wait.
Bass player.
Man, I haven't seen him in a while.
I think he's in. I think he's Voodoo Swing. He was during that time. He was in the Rhythm Dragons at that time.
I do know. Wait, are they no longer together?
I don't know. I don't think Tommy's playing there.
I guess this is literally you go your set, I go my
it goes
set.
and then okay. So we played O'Brien's, and we played there for years, and that's why really nobody heard of us, to tell you the truth, because we just kept playing. Oh, there we go. Oh, I got a ponytail.
Yes. And Kevin, who just recently left the band.
Back in January, yeah.
He was a founding member.
He was, yep, so... As of right now, I think he came and saw us a couple times, right?
Yes.
So we're just doing the 3-piece right now, and probably, I'd say in a couple months, maybe we might have a surprise for everyone. So I don't want to go into too much about what's going on, but we might be adding some stuff. But we do have a big surprise in July coming up, so we'll just say that Madd Dog Tannen, Critical Miss show. Maybe something special going on there.
Are you doing speed dating?
We're not doing speed dating, actually. Although that would, could be fun. Who knows?
It's like, are you doing acoustic?
We're not doing acoustic. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
But it's only Sean, acoustic bass.
I don't know. Sean, I don't even think we know what acoustic is, to tell you the truth. Actually, that'd be interesting.
Can you foil that robbery?
You
can't turn around.
Laser beams.
And kind
Oh,
of.
it's on the other hand, huh?
Yes.
Whoops.
That's how they diversified into
Wow.
an old Tengen game too. Midway published it originally, right?
Was it Midway?
They didn't on this one. But Paperboy was renowned.
You get points for the trash can now?
Just don't break a window.
Ooh.
There's a ghost. There's Magic Johnson.
Boom. Boom. Oh, 3. No, 3. Fail.
3 hearts. So yeah, so then you guys were... Man, the spray paint. That's a good name.
Guys, I'll have to send you that. So you can check it out.
So you jumped on that show and got together.
So yeah, we played O'Brien all the time, man. During that time, so we originally started as a 4-piece, right? So just me and I forgot about the obstacle course thing, huh?
Yep. Paperboy staple.
So after, so we originally started as a 4-piece, me, Sean, Kyle, and Kevin, right? Then like not even a year later, man, we started adding horns. So there was a time that we had horns, yeah.
That makes more sense of your ska stuff, because I discovered you after that, but you're like, we're kind of a ska, and I'm like, okay.
Yes. So there was a time our first horn player was actually my buddy Mark, and then at the time my brother's girlfriend Stephanie played saxophone, and so we had a trombone and a saxophone player is what we had, and we started playing shows and people just like completely dug that, right? And
yeah.
We had fun because that just opened us up to all kinds of possibilities and stuff. So not long after that, we ended up actually adding another trombone player, Morgan. So I'm giving all kinds of shout outs today. So then we had Morgan.
You better be watching.
I know, huh? Then Mark actually switched from being trombone to trumpet. So we ended up having a trumpet player, a saxophone player, and a trombone player, and then the 4 of us.
So 7-piece?
Yeah, pretty much. So, let's see, I'm trying to remember, after a while, I can't remember the exact reasons for everything that happened. Kyle had to leave the band.
It's because he became an internet celebrity with that TV appearance.
True that. Back with the first, what was it? He was stunting it up, and then he just failed. Ooh, top 10. Oh, I totally passed that.
Alright, so what is route? Oh.
I think we're about to find out.
It won't let us select it.
So Kyle left the band.
Also, select works.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Huh.
Oh, I see. We can change the route. There we go. I figured it out.
Oh.
You can do route 50. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Let's go for it. Oh, look at...
I was going to go reverse. Yeah. We can randomly play routes against each other. All right. We good?
Good.
So what does this mean? Oh, no, I know what this means. This is who I'm not supposed to give papers to. And then there's yours. So we just made it like the most hard thing ever, right?
Maybe.
Ghost sighting freaks teen. New at 9. Dude, a ska band. Is there video of this somewhere?
Mm-hmm. Actually, you know, right when we did the new album, I actually took a lot of it off because it was terrible. There's a lot of terrible stuff. But yeah, there is video. If you go on YouTube, you can probably find a lot of it actually still. What you'll actually find there is you'll find Sean Calloway. So at one point we had 2 Seans in the band. My brother Sean, who's the bass player now, and then Sean Calloway, who was drumming at the time. And after Kyle left the band, Mark also left not long after. And then we added Sarah, who played bari saxophone. So we had a bari saxophone and a tenor saxophone player, because Morgan left not long after Mark did also. So we cut way back. But then right before I left, the first time I left, right before I left, so Sean is the longest standing member of Madd Dog Tannen.
Sean's vindication right here.
Everyone has quit or, had stuff going. So, when, where was I at? So we added someone. We added actually the one of the guys that played in the Spray Paint Heroes with Sean and Kevin, Scott, for a while. And he was going to we were kind of training him up as a lead singer. So we had a lead singer, 4 of us playing, and then we had 2 horn players for a while. It worked out, we did some pretty awesome things. Like we used to cover Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling, during that time, which actually, as funny as it sounds, like it actually worked really well, and people liked that.
Without the synthesizer?
Without the synthesizer, but we used the horns and stuff, so.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Kevin was good about, obviously Kevin's really good about leads and stuff, and I was really good with the ska rhythm stuff, and then we had the horns, so we had it all. So the hardest part was always learning the lyrics and remembering all the words.
It's not all I've got a feeling.
Right? There was like, what is it? Fill up my cup, mazel tov. Look at her dancing. Let's turn it up. I see. That's why I didn't sing during that time.
Copyright claim.
Yep.
It was so accurate.
So,
oh, baby.
So then 2009, I had my first son. My only son. I only have
so far.
So I had him, and I actually stepped away from the band for about a year. And they kind of went on without me and kept playing shows and kept playing stuff. With Scott, like I was telling you, he kind of was he stepped up and ended up being my replacement for a while. And then, after that, I came back to the band for a little bit, and I left again because I had my daughter 2 years after my son. And
so you originally meant first kid.
Exactly. So my first kid, and then, so long they kept playing throughout, but they didn't really do anything big. They just kind of played bars and played like the same old places and stuff. And then probably about a year after my daughter was born, maybe a little bit more, but roughly about a year after my daughter was born, funny enough, I called. Oh, I totally was right there. Funny enough, I called Kevin up again and said, "Hey, Kevin, what are you doing? You want to jam?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to jam." And what's funny is I first told him,
the crash in slow motion.
Right? That's how it actually happens too. Like when you crash, you're like,
no.
So I call Kevin up again, and I say, actually my foray this time was, "Hey, I got an idea." I said, "Let's have some fun. Let's learn a bunch of punk rock covers." I said, "You know how they do that punk rock karaoke where everyone kind of does it, karaoke and that right in front."
Wait, why are they getting a newspaper if it's for sale?
Right? Maybe they pre-ordered.
They're still living
or something,
there.
Yeah. pre-ordered and their subscriptions that
It's for the open house. So
God, the level 9,000 is really hard.
I mean, we're slowly getting better. At least I feel I'm slowly getting better. I'm getting more accurate.
So I'm talking to Kevin about doing this like cover show where we just learned. Wow, that was
There's
really
that crook
lame.
again.
I'm gonna get him this time. Maybe. Did I pass it? I passed
Probably.
it.
I think it. I don't know how it checkpoints. Ooh.
Whoa.
I don't know what happened there, but you survived.
Don't do level 9,000. So I'm talking to. Oh yeah. Dang.
No.
Dang. Not even. Nope. Nothing.
All right. So we can randomly. It's got to be random, right?
Yeah. If you don't have anything, it's gotta be random, right?
Also, if you do to the side, it does it. Oh wait, no, it just says. Doesn't matter. We'll just do 290. What's a good number?
Oh, I'm going for it. You see it? That's got to be a good one, right?
505. Yes. That's got to be it.
So I started talking to Kevin about doing this cover show, right? We were going to plan on doing a cover show about just a bunch of our favorite punk rock songs that inspired us. We're just going to have fun.
You're a newfound glory.
Totally. Totally, right? Because we just wanted to have some fun. And then we call Sean and say, Sean, hey, we got this idea. Let's start jamming and stuff. And Sean's like, well, why don't we just start playing our songs again? And it's like, well, okay. So
You got to hear this new sound. Oh, wait.
that new sound you're looking for.
Whoa.
So
yeah. Now
nice.
I'm gonna crash. But
we just started playing again, and then we realized that the places that we used to play, like Mason Jar, O'Brien's, the Rogue West, all these places kind of shut down and weren't playing places. So we're like, okay. So randomly, 2 months after we started jamming again together, because we ended up calling Kyle, and Kyle's like, hey, I want to jam. So we're like, yeah, let's do this. The original 4 members, and we're going to do this again. So we start doing it randomly about a month or 2 months after a Colorado band randomly, I don't know if they randomly, probably not randomly, but nice, you got him.
I thwarted crime like Bet. Oh, what?
Dang.
But a curb took me down.
A band from Colorado emails us and said, hey, we're looking for another band to play with us at the Rogue in Scottsdale. You know, do you guys want to do it? And I was like,
Rest in peace.
so I tell the guys, I'm like, okay. I'm like, hey, so we got a show offer. And they're like, yeah, let's try it. I said, why not? Let's just try it and see what happens, you know? Who knows? So we play it, and not even joking, the only people at this show, because it was like a Monday night in December, the only people was Madd Dog Tannen, and then I Fly. 2 people we got to this show that we randomly called that came out from the west side to see us. I think Kevin knew him, and he talked him into coming out, and the bartender. But we had a ton of fun, you know, just playing and hanging out with those guys, and I still talk to Josh once in a while from them. I can't remember. I can't give him a shout out because I can't remember his new band right now that he's in. But
Is he Nomada? Is that Josh?
no, he's still based in Colorado.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so we played the show with them, and everything seemed awesome. So we're like, sweet, you know, yay, we're back in business. And then we just started playing shows from there, and then obviously that was the year. That was the year that the first goal we set as a band. We said, hey, you know what we want to do? We want to play the Marquee Theater. And then that's what we did.
Did it freeze? Oh, it just ended?
How
Okay.
did it end? Well, was there a timer?
I got to... And our replay... Oh, now it's gone. But I was like, I made it to the what is this, like a weird militia?
Something, right?
Or those? I think that's like supposed to be a fort, like a kid's fort.
I had a fort once. I really did, and it fell down on my little brother because it was pretty poorly built.
Oh, I can tell you how I had my first black eye.
How'd you get your first black eye?
From a brick being dropped on my face. From 3 kids, including our neighbor friend, trying to build it a tree fort.
Wow. With bricks?
theoretically, apparently, we thought that was an idea. It's a building material. We have access to bricks.
It is the strongest building material. According to the
And we had it up in. We had at least a flat surface in the tree. But yeah, They just said my name and I looked up and a brick fell. I was supposed to actually hit that sketch.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, I got fired again. The worst paper girl ever.
Well, let's try my luck as a girl. Is what everyone says. So then you set a goal of playing the marquee, and I know that's where I first saw you guys.
That's where you first saw us, and that's when we got a lot of comments. Basically said,
"Oh, I guess I continue."
Wow. The first thing we got from everyone was, well, first of all, after we played that show that day, the first thing was like, "Do you have any CDs?" And we're like, "Yeah, we have one from 2006." And we didn't even have it there. I had it digitally on Reverb Nation and stuff, and anything free that we had it up, right? Well, that day, everyone thought we were a touring band too. So everyone thought that we were touring with Story Zero. We're like, no, we're actually from the West Side. They're like, what? There's bands on the West Side? And we're like, yeah, there is. There's a few of us, not many.
I lost 4 subscribers.
Oh, that's okay. I got fired.
And I got it. I stopped the thief. Did you guys dress up before that? You guys have told me I'm responsible for this.
You are responsible for
us dress up before
dressing
that?
up every time. Actually, yeah, there's pictures out there too of our first show that I've had up. You'll see that actually the first show that we played at O'Brien's, we were dressed up, right? So we'd wear black. We'd wear all black. And then each one of us had a color tie we'd wear. So each one of us had our own designated specific color that we'd wear. It's evolved into, us just kind of dressing like whatever suits or whatever we put together and find and stuff. But, yeah, thanks, Joe. Ever since then, we've had to play dressed up.
That's not a bad thing.
No. Actually, we always, especially Sean always gives you shit about it. But there's actually quite a few shows that we did.
It actually helps you stand out, too, in a crowded area of musicians.
Especially when you got, people basically saying, these guys aren't, ooh, what's that?
I don't know. Something popped on Windows.
Cool.
Oh, well.
The funnest part is that when, what was the best comment that they'll always stand out to me is when they said, you guys look like a bunch of 40-year-old dads. And I just couldn't respond to that. I just like, wow, we are a bunch of 40-year-old dads. Mission accomplished, bro.
So part of your story does bring up a question.
Yeah.
The West Valley has struggled to have a venue for anyone to play.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, because nobody wants to go out to venues. No one wants to go out to see music out there.
But I always see people going, we live over here, and there's people over here. Why isn't there a show that I don't have to drive 30 minutes for?
So we played the deli a lot out there, right? Because the deli started having shows and stuff, right?
Yeah.
We used to get that place pretty full and stuff, but what happened, and it always happens on the west side, people show up for a little bit, and then they fizzle out, and they stop showing up.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been on the west side playing music since I was 16, and I'm 38 now. And I'll tell you what, like even the Mason Jar, like we used to travel where that's kind of the west side still. So
yeah, that's west from the East Valley.
That used to be that used to be the closest venue for music to play.
That was one of the first venues I was aware of. Had a friend in high school, his jazz band played the Mason Jar.
Nice.
I was like, oh,
nice. Brandon, who I did his podcast, right, which I'm in love with right now. His Dare to Fail podcast. It's super positive and uplifting, and just like it talks about all of his it basically talks about just pursuing what you want to do.
It's a better approach in life.
It is.
You'll be happier.
And this is coming from a guy who quit his job as an X-ray technician to move out to Austin to play drums in a band as like
Oh, wow.
a professional drummer. And this guy's amazing, right? This guy is an amazing drummer. He was in the labels with me. Um, amazing drummer, and just super talented. And yeah, he that's what he did. And now he's here. He's back now. He moved to Austin
And
for
doing a
about
podcast.
2 or 3 years. He's doing podcasts. He's doing acting. Hasn't been really. I don't think he's been playing a lot of drums or doing anything like that with that right now.
I was gonna say, there's a
But,
couple bands like say No Gimmick looking for a drummer right now.
I'll have to send him, see if he's interested. But because the guy is he's amazing. He's amazing. He's up there on showy level. Even Dally Man from Authority Zero. Brandon is amazing.
Thwarting
So if you're
crime.
looking for a drummer, hit him up. brail.com. I just totally lost my train of thought there.
Oh, we're talking about the West Valley.
Oh, West Valley.
And you're into his podcast.
So West Valley into his podcast. I just don't like. We were doing the deli and we were playing there all the time. Was that me and I missed it?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay.
I went girl this time.
Oh, you're the girl now.
Oh, I apparently scored again.
Sweet.
I've never.
So long, I just don't know about the West Side. Like I don't think there's enough people that go out all the time. You know, everything's far apart in the West Valley.
It's one of the vocal minorities.
You drive everywhere in the West Valley for something.
Oh, I know. I grew up in we're in 7th Street in Greenway, so I know.
Yeah.
I was used to driving to Tempe. I was used to driving downtown. I'm still used to driving to Tempe. I'm used to driving downtown.
Right.
But it's closer for Tempe right now.
Plus the other thing is that Tempe and Mesa they have a big college atmosphere. In Tucson,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The West Valley.
There's ASU. Actually, until my parents divorced, I watched them build ASU West.
Right.
I lived actually over there till
There's the other
fourth
thing
grade.
too is that the West Valley, like back when I was in grade school.
And it's your
Oh,
time
my
to
turn.
say.
When I was in grade school, there was no Arrowhead Mall. It was just being built. You know what I mean?
I remember
That was all orange groves and.
my dad used to do. He was an electrical contractor, and so he was working on stuff or working with people. So while they're still constructing it, he brought me and my sister in there. I remember looking at a mall under construction.
So see, I think the West Valley at some point could be a good place for music and venues and stuff.
Well, I mean, that's been the struggle for the Coyotes.
Right.
And that whole Westgate project has been. They got what they wanted, but then the attendance is down versus even downtown when they played at America West Arena.
Actually, that's a perfect example too. So we have all that Westgate, right?
Yes.
How many bars can you name that has live music pretty consistently over there? Exactly.
Was it the? They put on music around that fountain. I know that.
Oh yeah, for their Summerscape
Yeah.
series, they do the same thing that Arrowhead Mall does too. So because they do the same thing.
I've walked out of a Cardinals game over there and seen that, partially to avoid traffic. Just hanging out.
Right. I think also on the west side too, you kind of got a different kind of clientele for the most part too.
More relaxed.
I'd say like
I mean, more relaxed.
older.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because you got a Sun City West and stuff over there and stuff. So there's not a lot of demand for punk rock music on that side of town. A lot
They're
of
not
times.
rebels.
They're not really rebels. Although, my favorite elderly band lives over in Sun City though.
Wait, is this?
1 Foot in the Grave. Yes, it is.
They've had some press and some attention.
And actually, the first time I saw them was when I can't remember if we opened for them the one night or if my buddy Tommy, the Rhythm Dragons, had them opening for them one night at O'Brien's. And that's when I first saw them, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And he's like, "This is 1 Foot in the Grave. They're from Sun City." I'm like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen." And they did a bunch of Ramones and Sex Pistols covers and all kinds of stuff, but they were just so much fun.
Yeah. You keep mentioning Rhythm Dragons. I'm like,
I know.
they were
I'm sorry.
good when I watched them.
They were a lot of fun. We played like
I think they even saw their shirt up at Chopper John's.
we played with them quite a bit actually. There was a point to where we played with all kinds of rockabilly bands like all the time. We were always playing on the bill with rockabilly bands, and which is it always cracked us up because we're like, you know.
I mean, that's still close to your genre.
We're honestly not that much different than what we play now. Like, there's tons of songs that we still play.
That's still, you're within the same fan base, other than different hairstyle.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Oh.
I mean, whatever gets you shows, like, who is it? Oh, Hollow Point Vigils.
Oh my god.
They're really rad. Yeah, but
yes.
I didn't even know of them for a while because they were playing just with hip-hop artists.
I'm so glad you mentioned them. You know why?
Because they're playing tonight.
Besides playing tonight, Sean is actually a pretty good friend of mine. We work together.
Oh, awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, me and Sean work together. And
wait, do you fly around like he's been doing?
Not so much.
No. Okay.
But but we actually both work in Costco together.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, I'm getting Dana. Nah.
Oh,
Nah,
Dana.
yeah.
You're getting Dana.
Yeah, Sean. Okay, yes.
Was that like a rock?
Wait, so you're working in the same Costco?
Yep.
That's even funnier. It's a
Yep.
small world.
Me and him have been working there for years together.
Man.
So
you knew of them before I knew of them then?
I knew of Sean when Sean was doing, before he, I don't know if he knew Dana or not before that, but when he was actually doing hip hop and he was doing, the only thing I can remember, like, forgive me, Sean, if you're watching or you're watching, but I just remember it was called like Top Shelf or something. I got fired again.
But you ranked.
Oh,
you beat my score.
Oh, I gotcha. We're gonna have to put the initials in here for now. But yeah, I knew Sean when he was just. Oh, I totally messed that up. That's okay.
Oh, and you're just B?
Yeah, I'm just B.
From
So
now on.
I knew Sean for a while before this when he was just doing hip hop and he was writing raps when we were working together and we were just.
That makes so much sense because he's the one that also will do the rapping for some of their current songs.
Yes,
and
he
he's
does.
good at it.
He is really good at it. That kid can spit some lyrics, man. Just unbelievably good.
You're just randomly. I assume this is random. Also, before I forget, if you're watching and you want to support, you can always head over to patreon.com/everyshowjoe. $5 get you a shout out on the next episode I record after you do it too. So throw that back out there because I think I usually should mention that at the top. But yeah.
Just always hit the like button too. Hit the like button.
Were they playing West Valley shows? Was Sean a West Valley band?
Sean was not actually.
Crap.
Like I said, the first time we got into any shows in the East Valley, you know, was basically the Marquee Theater. To tell you the truth, there was like some shows that the guys played without me when I was on my sabbatical with my kids.
Sean likes to
they played
remind us, the other Sean likes to remind us of your time period.
Music.
I was gonna hit a window.
There you go.
I thought.
But they played like they were playing like Club Red and
that's right, because they usually had Tuesdays, I think.
Clubhouse,
like,
things like that. So
before it shut down.
Yep.
The last show I saw at the Clubhouse was MC Chris.
Wow. Wow. The last show I saw at the Clubhouse.
Trash.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I was gonna say the Mad Caddy, but they didn't play the Clubhouse.
I've been meaning to drive by there to refresh my brain on what it looks like or what the complex looks like, but I keep forgetting.
I remember I played there once with Madd Dog. Played there once, and I saw a band there that I really liked, and I can't remember who it was.
Crap. Back up.
They were so good, I don't remember who it was.
That's always a good sign that you left an impact with your performance.
Wow. I feel bad. Like, I'm in a band, and that's what we like strive to do, right?
Yes. But you do leave a mark.
Oh. You know what my favorite things to do? Because randomly sometimes I'll see people with our shirt on, right? Or
yes.
We'll start talking, and I'll be like, yeah, Madd Dog Tannen, and stuff. They're like, oh, I've seen that band. They're really good live, right? And I'll always say something like, I heard they kind of suck.
let's
And
see
they just
it.
kind of look at me kind of funny, like, oh, and yeah, random stories.
Like, no way.
Random stories.
They were badass.
Because no one ever recognizes us unless we're dressed up. If
That-
we have just regular street clothes on.
That actually is an approach. When was I was hearing? Oh, Tokay from Streetlight Manifesto.
Yeah.
He purposely dresses the same so he will not be recognized when he's not performing.
It makes sense, actually. It totally makes sense.
Because then you're trained to look for him in plaid.
I can see that.
Or is it always red plaid? But he's always.
I always remember the hat. Because he always wears the hat. Woo.
But so it actually apparently works. That he kind of trains the audience to be looking for him to look a certain way, and then.
It actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a shout out and throw someone under the bus here. So one time we went live with one of the Madd Dog Tannen practices, and Jeremy Daniel from Cosmic Soup didn't recognize us. He's like, "Who is this band?" And he said the same thing, like, "Oh, I didn't recognize you guys without your suits on," and we just laughed so hard about that.
Your uniforms.
Our uniforms, yeah. Love you, Jeremy, but yeah.
So, the band is named Madd Dog Tannen.
Yep.
Obviously, it's a Back to the Future reference.
Yep.
Was the dressing up to a theme from Back to the Future 3? Or
Actually, no. Not at all.
Especially Sean usually has a look, especially that seems to be reminiscent of
like
him.
Western, right?
Yeah.
Like with the suspenders and the bow ties and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I don't think he did that quite on purpose. It's just something that he felt comfortable and he liked the way he looked in. So I think mostly we've evolved to that. We just kind of whatever we think we look good in type of thing now.
Also, so is the name because you guys feel Back to the Future 3 is the best of the trilogy?
So when we're sitting there, the four of us were sitting there trying to think of what we're gonna call this band, right? So I'm totally taking credit for this, even though there's some band members that might not agree with this. Okay,
Kevin's
but
out of the
let me
band. He
tell
has
you,
no say anymore.
He has no say anymore. And, I don't care what Sean thinks because you know what? Hi, Sean.
Because we know if he's not watching live, he's going to be watching it.
So Madd Dog Tannen was my idea. So me and Kevin were throwing around ideas. Well, actually, the four of us were throwing all kinds of ideas. Like it was almost Wild Stallions, right?
I mean, then you just got to go play. What's the high school in?
San Dimas.
Oh no, I mean.
No, it's the actual high school in
There's not
Scottsdale, right?
Chaparral.
Coronado?
Yeah, I think that's it.
There was two. I can't remember exactly.
The one has
there
the
was
mural that they kept. It's an ugly mural, by the way. I don't know
But
why.
it's still there.
I didn't even realize it was iconic to the movie until they're like, yeah, they remodeled and they still kept it. I'm like, what? It's a horrible looking thing.
And you know what? You watch the movie and you don't even remember that the mural's there.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Of all the things
So,
I take from that,
We're like,
from Village Head.
yay, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So Wild Stallions was almost our band name, along with Station's Creation, another Bill and Ted reference. So not just Back to the Future, but Bill and Ted, we were pretty.
You go around the corner.
Pretty stuck
Go to
on.
the Circle K from
Yeah,
here.
exactly. I know, huh? So they're both the houses are still standing.
And if you participated in the bowling part of Phoenix Golf on bowling, that bowling alley the last 2 years has been the one. The complex looks pretty much the same. The alley got purchased or renamed.
Did it?
So it's got colors that weren't there before.
Was that the old Tempe Bowl too?
It's rural in the 60s.
Okay, that was it. We did a long time ago. We did a canned food drive, food not bombs, at the old Tempe Bowl. Back when I was in IRIX out, and we played with Yellow 5. I'm trying to remember if Plinko was there or not.
Plinko was awesome. Jason Urias. He's probably not watching this, but he's a rad dude.
Yeah, I remember going.
Even
to
if I'm
see those
mispronouncing
guys.
his last name.
Urias.
Something like that.
Anyway, back
still
in
can't
the
beat
day,
B.
we did this big benefit show with all these guys. I was young too. I was probably like 16,
Sneaking in.
17. My band was actually playing with them,
Oh,
which was a huge deal back then for me. But I can't remember what happened to the Tempe Bowl, but I remember it was at the Tempe Bowl, and we were playing there.
Man, I don't even know. I was trying to think. I know of the Tempe Bowl.
I can't for the life of me remember where it's at, but just like the Electric Ballroom. One of my favorite concerts I saw was at the Electric Ballroom.
So I originally told someone I never went to the Electric Ballroom, but then it popped up that I had. I was like, oh.
Nice.
A picture popped up that was tagged there. I'm like, I guess I did go to at least one version of it, because did it move?
I don't know, but the one I remember, what made it so cool is that I remember there was like a dance floor-esque thing and bar and tables and stuff were all around this like dance part, or like what we call now the pit. But anyway, the show I saw there was Nerf Herder and Real Big Fish together that year, and
Nerf Herder.
that was so much fun. It was before Nerf Herder added the fourth member too.
Man.
So it was the original three. Back when the first self-titled was
That is way
was
back.
big. So what was that? That was had to have been like '96, I think.
Back when Aaron Barrett wore Hawaiian shirts, so it.
When
He still does.
or back when Scott and
When Scott was big.
when Scott was no, Scott was little then. Scott was little.
Okay.
He was little, and Dan and Tavis were in the band. So Tavis was still in the band
Man.
with Real Big Fish during that time.
First time I met them was in 2006. And turned the radio off, and they were just crossing off the members they replaced and signing. I'm like, fair enough.
True that, right? True that, yeah. Yeah, because who was it? Dan left and then came back, I think. Scott's gone. I love Scott.
Wasn't he the last original to
He was
leave?
the last original, yeah.
And this high-pitched Matt Appleton now does his,
Yep.
his and female vocals.
Yep.
I'm not a dog.
Yeah, Electric Ballroom was one of my favorite places to see shows. That one in Club Rio, which is now part of the lake, isn't it, or something? Or it's a business
Yeah.
complex or something. That one's
I'm
torn
gonna
down.
say, was that off of Rita Salado?
Yes, all that area. Yep, they
All
bulldozed
that's
that
changed.
entire. Yep.
I still remember there was a landfill where Tempe Marketplace was.
Yes, there was, huh?
Wonder if you can
True
go through
story.
the walkway.
19. Oh, I wonder if you can go through that.
Who lets their Dalmatian just run like that?
I saw Green Day at Club Rio.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
And I know you're a big Green Day fan.
huge. Yeah, you can tell in any song that we play, you can probably tell that there's a little bit.
I could
in
tell
there.
on a couple of the songs on your last album.
True that.
I was like, there is definitely Green Day influences here.
You know who else said that too? Was Craven. Craven Moorhead said that too to me when we were talking one night
About
about it. He's like,
Oh.
"Yeah, I hear early Green Day in there." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just guilty as charged."
my Twitch.
Ooh, we just crashed.
Yes.
Crashed on
Let's
Twitch.
Let's restore this tab. That way you can at least monitor the chat. Or not. It just keeps crashing.
Ooh, dog.
There we go. Nope. Well, I assume you guys are watching.
Just go with it.
That's fine. Come on. This is like a lighter. It's like. While you're playing, I'm gonna escape for a second to the keyboard that I don't know. Let's see if we can get this to work. Let's just reset this. Also, keep it.
Woohoo!
Close Firefox.
Firefox. I haven't used Firefox in forever.
It's the least resource intensive. I've gone between different ones, and Chrome became a memory hub.
Ooh,
Let's try this again.
got fired again. It's yours.
We'll jump back. We'll figure this out. At the very least, can't see the chat at the moment. Actually, I have an inventive idea. I can actually, as I'm like screwing this up, I can actually.
Oh, we can monitor it from there, huh?
I can use the Twitch app on my phone as a substitute, I suppose. I'm like, where did I put it? I use it all the time to watch Kind of Funny. Yeah, look at that. I can watch myself.
Oh, we can watch ourselves?
Yes. Watch Kind of Funny.
Nice.
Also, let's not hear the echo of my phone. This ad supports Twitch. What about me? Oh, there's that dog. Ugh. But you run into it. Whoa. I made it.
Just kept doing it. It kept hitting me.
Kill this guy, man.
Dog.
He's not a subscriber if there's no mailbox, right?
I think, yeah, that's what it is, huh?
But you can get it on their doorstep and they don't.
They won't care, right? It's close enough.
There
So what's your favorite band, Joe? Is it less than Jake?
Oh no, it's NoFX.
NoFX is?
Yes. Despite controversy. Then it's less than Jake.
The whole NoFX thing is, I just, it's the same thing when Billy Joe had his fit on the iHeartRadio stage. And people were freaking out, going like, "Oh my god, oh my god!"
I mean, he
like,
didn't say as inflammatory of a comment, but yes.
That's well.
I think technically Melvin did, but
well, any kind of inflammatory, like you look at these bands, and you're surprised because why?
at the time I was more like watching it live. I was more like, "Oh shit, he went there."
You know.
But I'm like, I'm not surprised. I'm just like, you went there.
I guess seeing all these bands, like even though FX I saw quite a few times, like seeing all these bands and stuff, I'm just not surprised. I'm like, was it a good move? I don't know. And do I agree with it? No, but I'm not surprised either, and I'm surprised that everyone else is shocked.
I'm surprised it took 3 days.
Oh, true. Oh,
Babies. These are like the worst parrots and dog owners.
true that. True that.
I still can't match your glorious 96.
Not yet.
Yeah, no one. That is a good way I can monitor the chat. Just use my phone for now.
That's the easy way to do it.
Oh, I left the mouse over there.
That actually does that actually avoiding controversy is actually something that Madd Dog does try to do. We basically stay out of everything, stay out of all of it, except for actually no
Probably
exception.
for the best.
We show up, we play. You know, we hang out. We don't care who it is. You know, we played with some controversy bands after things have happened, and
I'm like thinking.
you know, there's been a couple times that we played with some bands that that you know had their share of controversy and stuff, but we never cared. We showed up, we played. Actually, I think that's one of the things that people like about us. I know other musicians love about us is that, you know what, we don't
Drama.
care where you've been. We don't care what you've done. We don't, you know, we're just like, you know what, we're here to have a good time. We're here to play music, and we're here just to do our thing. So,
Which is good.
it's worked so far.
Crap. So, let's see. You discussed the name.
Yep. Oh, so the Madd Dog Tannen. So it's derived from Back to the Future 3, right?
Yes.
And the reason why I thought it was perfect because we love the Mad Caddies, right? Mad Caddies. And I was like, let's do what Madd Dog Tannen just sounds like a ska band. It totally does. So that's why we went with that. Plus, it's the greatest trilogy ever made.
It points out its own flaw.
It totally does. It totally does. Even Avengers Endgame, they had to bring Back to the Future references, so.
Are you using a Back to the Future rules for?
Right? And technically, Back to the Future rules did still apply because they had their own alternate timeline and everything too.
Spoiler warning, by the way.
Spoiler.
There went half the
We
audience.
should be good now, right? We should be okay.
I would say the Russo brothers said, what was it? May 6th was the expiration for spoiler warning. It happened to coincide with the release of the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
The trailer, yeah. Oh.
Which I've never seen a trailer where someone's like, spoiler warning, if you've not watched this, I'm like, wait, does that mean this trailer's not in theaters?
Right?
You're not pushing this to theaters, or you're pushing it with a warning and then people are just going to have to walk out of the theater for about 5 minutes.
I almost think that it's like like a whole, it's like a gimmick now. Like, do you remember for a while there, like where we had like a countdown to the teaser? We had a teaser of a teaser trailer.
That's true. Well, and the trailers are weird now because they all have like that 10 seconds. It's the Spider-Man trailer. It's the Infinity War trailer.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, I clicked on it. I kind of expected that. Why do I have an opening?
I
I have an opening to a trailer.
I don't know if it's because I'm getting
This is
older
the Sonic
or
the
what,
Hedgehog trailer.
but I just don't get it. I really don't get it.
I'm gonna steal my mouse back because that will be vital later. All right. Do I have to hit a button?
So who's your favorite local band?
Playboy Man, maybe.
I probably could have said that.
It's yeah. That's the quickest song.
Do you know I haven't seen them yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I
They
know.
put on every time. It's a high energy affair, and it's not just them. It's the people that go to them are just. The whole environment's fun.
Awesome. You know what? There's like we try to go out to as many shows as we can.
This is why
As many as
you're
we
doing
can.
papers because property tax is going to increase.
So we try to get out to as many as we can, but obviously having kids, because all of us have kids now. Kyle's dating a girl that has kids.
Okay, I was like,
My
wait.
little brother actually. We just had another one.
Is Sean the little one?
We just had another one.
Is Sean the little brother or the big
Yeah, he's
brother?
my little brother.
Yeah.
He just had Micah. Like, I think Micah's 2 weeks old now, 3 weeks old.
That's why he's not here.
So that's part of the reason why he's not here yet.
Man.
Uh,
I understand.
I'm actually gonna see him tomorrow for a little bit. But anyway, so he just had a newborn. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say, so we don't get out to many shows, but we try to get out whenever we can. And but 90% of the time, like when we're trying to get out to shows and stuff, it's usually to our own show trying to get out. So
And
So-
I say a kid will do that though,
kids do that,
especially
yeah.
at least early on.
Yeah, kids and working full time.
What?
Yeah.
You have to pay the bills.
Yeah, I know.
Thought as a band, you're good.
Right? We need that band money paycheck. We need that Airheads money. You right? Cool.
There's a good classic movie.
Airheads, yes.
Steve Buscemi. Crap.
Brendan Fraser.
Yes. Who got bigger?
And actually, Adam Sandler.
Yes. Playing 80s hair metal, kind of metal.
Heck yeah! And
Yes.
true story. I don't, you probably already knew this already, but their title song that the band what was it? The Lone Rangers played.
Yeah.
Degenerated was by Degeneration.
No, I actually did not. It's also been a long time since I watched that movie, though.
So yeah, that song was actually written and played by Degeneration,
That is super rad. Now I gotta rewatch that movie.
which I saw with Green Day back in 1998 at Club Rio.
You mean they didn't used to play arenas?
Yeah, they didn't used to play arenas. Actually, the first time I saw Green Day, 1994, the State Fair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's when I was hooked.
They also got, what, their first tour of a school bus here in Phoenix, right?
The Bookmobile, yep. Ooh, dang that hand.
How do you avoid it? So Phoenix has ties to Green Day.
Yeah.
We help them go
Actually,
on the
a lot-
road.
You know who I had a lot of fun talking to about Green Day and just random things in general, but we ended up talking about Green Day is what really got us talking together, was was Gino from Creepsville 666.
Oh.
We had a bunch of Green Day stories that we kept sharing back and forth and stuff. And I'll tell you what, I won't tell his stories for him because I will not do him justice. But
I wish I knew these when he was on. I could have bugged him about them.
he has some good ones, like
And playing with them or seeing them?
seeing them.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got some good ones. Much more
Yeah.
up close and personal. The most up close and personal I ever got was actually at that Club Rio show. I saw Trey Cool in the mosh pit or whatever you want to
Wait,
call it.
what? He was out in the...
He was out in the crowd with us, and nobody really knew who it was at the time, or everyone
Or
was just
no one really was like...
him.
Yeah.
So I remember it was like once I saw him, I was like, oh my god! I was like, do you guys know who this is? So I went up and high-fived him and shook his hand and stuff, and then he ran backstage again. But
You scared him back.
I know I did. Could you imagine me going like, "Oh my God, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are?"
I've only seen him in arena settings and in the long shot show at the Valley Bar.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Other than all the cell phones. Well, you were up front.
I was up front. Yeah, I had no shame that night.
It more made me laugh by the fourth time, but the woman in front of me, she kept putting her phone up to take pictures, and she would only zoom in on Billy. I was like, what? And then
I can't
next
talk, I'm
song,
sorry.
phone would go back up, and it'd be back on Billy, and I'm like, you realize you're pretty much taking the exact same shot. What? I don't know why you need this many pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong.
Why wouldn't you want this many pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong?
To do a slideshow animation.
My wife thought it was just hilarious because as soon as because she was like, you want to go up front, and I'm like, we'll be okay. Nah, we'll just hang out back here. And then as soon as they came up and started playing, and Billy walked out, I grabbed her hand and just barreled through all these girls.
You were the real fangirl.
I was the real fangirl that night. I was having a good old time.
One of my more impressive feats, I suppose, it was that day. I went down to Tucson, took pictures at Subversive Fest, drove up, still caught the long shots, and still caught the band before them that was really good.
That was
With the female lead vocalist.
Frankie and the Studs.
Yeah.
Which actually I met the Trash Bags guy afterwards. Afterwards I saw them out in the lobby, and I wanted to make sure and go tell them like how much really enjoyed them, and
Right.
had a fun time seeing them because I'd never heard them before, and asking them where they were from and stuff. So
Yeah, they were really good.
they were a lot of fun.
And they haven't come back since.
They haven't. And, I have them on my feed now. Kind of waiting for something, but
Do a little tour.
nothing. I know Frankie and the Studs is from Los Angeles.
Which means they should come
They
out
should
here.
come out here at least sometime, right?
Yeah.
Like the Trash Bag's a little more understandable. They're based in New York, so
That's a bit of a drive.
It's a little bit of a
I know
drive.
as someone who keeps wishing to see the Pie Tasters that they've got a little longer of a drive, so their tour doesn't usually come over here. But next weekend I will watch the Pie Tasters.
nice.
And they're doing the pool party, so
I'm actually a little bit jealous because the one band that almost got me to punk rock bowling this year
was
was
Fear.
Nerf Herder.
Nerf Herder has
Oh no!
It was
no, it's not even Fear. I'm like, I don't need to see
It
Fear.
was 6
Like,
years ago. They last played
Nerf
pub
Herder.
rock.
Did they?
Yeah.
I missed it.
And then what? Oh God, what's his name? His initials are PA.
Oh, Perry?
Yeah, there we go.
Perry Grip?
Yeah. Somehow I remembered his initials over his name.
Perry Grip. Okay, here's another funny story. Having kids too in punk rock music, right?
Yeah.
So did you know Perry Grip does kids songs?
No.
Yeah, you know that.
It's almost like Mr. T experience
It's
there.
raining tacos. Did you ever hear that song?
No. Man, what's with food and kids?
I don't know.
Aquabats have Burger Rain.
Oh, I love Burger Rain. And Pool Party.
Yes. But Burger Rain came from the television show.
That's true.
And
That's
I
true.
have it on vinyl.
Nice. Well, so do you have their Yo Gabba Gabba stuff too?
No.
Okay, so they have Yo Gabba Gabba stuff too, where some of our favorite bands play on Yo Gabba Gabba. And the reason I know this is because
Like-
my son was a newborn back
Yes.
in 2009 when Yo Gabba Gabba was just picking up speed, right?
Yes.
So what do you think me and my wife let my kid watch all the time? Yo Gabba Gabba.
It's bananas.
Seriously.
The Agrolites.
Seriously, yes. Weezer,
What? Crap.
my best friend.
Man.
Oh, there's a lot of good ones.
I mean, that's where the creator of Strong Bad and Homestar Runner,
Yep.
Yo Gabba Gabba writer.
You even had the Killers on there doing a song. So
I mean, their lead singer doesn't swear, so it's perfect.
I forgot.
And was it Flowers?
Because it's the lead singer of Aquabats. It's Christian whatever, huh?
Christian
That was,
Jacobs?
He did it all.
Yeah, Christian Jacobs and Peter Jacobs is his brother who does a lot of the art.
Yes.
He's an awesome Facebook and Twitter follow. If you want to see awesome art every day.
Just those costumes, like you see the costumes and then you remember the Aquabats show and you're like, wait a minute, that
Yeah.
looks familiar.
Where'd they get that spandex from?
Right?
Oh wait, I know where that came from.
Oh. So anyway, I kind of got off track there. So my kids have always listened to a lot of stuff like that we kind of connection, but they didn't realize there was a connection. So my kids come to me and they tell me about this guy Perry Grip, singing this Raining Tacos song and all these other like crazy like off the wall, if you get a chance, Google it, Perry Grip. So they tell me that, and I tell them, I said I knew a guy in a band called Nerfer. His name was Perry Grip, I think. I said there's no way it could be him, and lo and behold, it was Perry Grip, the same one.
Well, I mean, they don't tour. Man, I just really wanted that food. Yeah, they don't tour much is the problem. They don't have jobs. Weird, even the bigger ones.
Crazy. I think there's a correlation between playing in a band and not having money.
Right? What about their royalty checks?
Right?
Yeah, no. Actually, I know his initials, which are PG. It's because for some reason I had him also sign the back of a pin that I have somewhere around here. I was drunk. I know that. We'll attest it to that. But I remember him being like, all right, and just like wrote his initials in the back of this pin.
Nice.
But yeah,
Nice.
Nerf Herder was my top priority. And Direct Hit. Those dudes are rad. Plus, apparently I'm going to miss them. They're playing Monday night here when the specials are playing Punk Rock Bowling.
Wow.
Which is like, no, I'm still going to watch the specials. But, man. So, if you aren't going to Punk Rock Bowling, a good show plug is actually to go see Direct Hit, Problem Child, and the Drowns, which Drowns is Rev from Success. It's his new band.
Oh.
So they're coming through on Monday night, which is super cool, other than I'm not going to be here because I'm still going to be in Vegas to Punk Rock Bowling.
Nice. Everyone's going to be in Punk Rock Bowling, I think, huh?
A lot of people are.
Tons.
Because actually, I think that's one of the only touring punk shows that weekend here. When I was already glancing ahead, there's some local punk though.
Oh yeah, there's always local punk going on.
Though half of them are also in Vegas.
That's true.
Ass Funk Junkies are actually be playing Friday night up there.
Are they? Nice.
Yes. With Lewis Idol and Sniper 66.
Nice. We played with those guys once and it was fun. That was a fun night.
They're super cool dudes. And if they're at your show, you at least will probably have a mosh pit. Because they will try and get it going. But yeah. I wish I could be at that show. Because that combined is super rad. And the Drowns are playing the main stage. But not like a club show. So it would be super cool to see them in a small venue. The downside of Punk Rock Bowling being 4 hours away. 4.5.
True that, right? Also, I think there's not a lot of touring bands going on during that time.
I know at least of one promoter that warns anyone that comes here with a guarantee. Just like, no.
Yeah.
Half your audience isn't even going to be here, so I can't even guarantee you that. So if you can still play, but you can't expect that number.
Wow.
And I know that promoter's been doing it for the last 3 years now. So it's like, because you want to make money while you're going wherever you're going. So
Yeah.
Phoenix is a viable place, but the problem is that you're also super close. So it's a lot easier for everyone here to be like, I'm going to Vegas.
Yep.
And then I'm going to come back.
Yep, pretty much.
Business as usual after that.
True that.
How come they're in their front yard and they see me break their window?
You know?
And then they don't get upset. They're like, I'm still into this game of basketball.
That reminds me of Cobra Kai. Did you watch any of Cobra Kai?
Only a short piece of it so far.
Okay. Then I can't do any spoilers then.
Because it just became, I can watch it regularly now, right? I don't
It
need
is
YouTube Red.
amazing. It is amazing.
And it's actually canonical with Karate Kid?
Yes. It is, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And they did such a good job. They make fun of themselves in the whole thing. And the second season was really good. Actually, I could tell you what I was going to pertain. So you say, like, just broke their window, they did nothing.
Yeah.
So in Karate Kid, like, there's lots of fighting going on. But yeah, there's no cops or anyone breaking this stuff up. It's weird.
They're just like, yeah, they know their karate.
Yeah, exactly.
It is street justice. There we go. So, you guys just got the EP, or LP out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go.
Oh!
But I'm gonna miss. So is that the last of new music for a little bit? Are you guys already writing and working on new stuff?
We're working on new stuff.
Stuff that Sean can do while he's taking care of a newborn.
Yep, pretty much. Actually, that's why we, like I said, we have a couple things coming up.
One TBA.
Yep. Actually, I could tell you guys. I'll tell you.
It's live, so you
I'll
can't
tell
take
you
it back.
guys. So here it is. So we're gonna be playing Shoei's birthday party on June 8th at the Devil's Advocate.
I was putting it there.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Interesting.
super intimate. You know what I mean? So that's who knows what's gonna happen that night, right? Anything could happen. But we'll be there.
Shoei will be drunk, guaranteed.
Shoei be drunk, yep. We're playing late that night too. I think like 11. So
That's how I know you're a parent. We're playing late, 11, and I'm like, what? You mean like 1, right?
I can't even tell you how many times we've showed up. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you're playing at midnight or 1. We're like, wow. You know, my kids are gonna wake me up in like 7 hours, 6 hours.
I've had a few friends that tell me they're up by 6 a.m. I'm like,
Sometimes, yeah.
just out of habit. I'm like, why don't you sleep in on a Saturday? No, I'm up at 6. Okay.
Exactly. Oh, so we're playing Shoei's birthday party at Devil's Advocate, June 8th. I wish I could shout out to the other people playing, and I'm just blank.
Ethan 103.
Actually, I don't think they're playing this year.
What? Who's at fault here? Is it Wayne?
I know, huh? Oh, Wayne will be there though.
Oh, I'm
Wayne
sure.
will be there. And then we are going to be playing a show with Critical Miss, and I can't remember who else is going to be on the bill on July 5th. Which we're going to have a little surprise for you guys.
Pinata. No pinata?
Yeah, what should we put in the pinata though?
Flux
Flux
capacitors.
capacitors. Hey, you know how many times people post and they'll tag me in the AutoZone's little ad?
Oh god.
You know, and people like,
Have you
it's
seen
like,
this?
Hey, have you bought this? And I'm like, yeah, you really can't order it. You're like, are you sure? I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's right, because it was April Fool's,
I'm
wasn't
sure.
it?
Was just, yeah, but yeah, that thing makes its rounds quite a bit to us.
Oh. That's why you don't text and drive, kids.
Oh.
Text and scooter.
So that night we're working with Critical Miss to do something very special that night. So we might see, I don't know, maybe a duet or something.
A duet.
Who knows?
Aren't you a 4-piece?
That's what I'm saying. We might add something or have something surprise. Some kind of surprise for that. So it'll be really fun. Other than that,
Uh,
we're gearing up. We're obviously we have a might have some more surprises too. You know, there might be another person we're adding.
Kevin's coming back.
Um,
No,
unfortunately,
Kevin not guaranteed.
Oh, there's another one. Yeah, Kevin not guaranteed. But there might be someone else.
Kyle.
That might be playing with us. I know maybe
TV celebrity Kyle.
Maybe we can get Kyle to sing.
You could.
Right?
Every other drummer's doing it these days.
That's true. His favorite, his influence, he swears, is Phil Collins. So, you know, we do wow, that was lame right there. That was
Right, I feel like
lame.
with my directional pad here, I'm not always the most accurate of maneuvering this bike.
Can I do it?
So apparently
Okay,
it's
you
just a
can't go in
wall.
there. It's just a
Yeah.
wall.
It's just for looks.
That's like a Wile E. Coyote thing right there. That's what that is. Only we're not the Roadrunner.
Right?
So other than that, we are in the process of writing. Who knows? Maybe hopefully next year we can have some new stuff to everyone to actually listen to and hold on to. You know what I did learn though about releasing CDs?
Yeah.
Nobody has CD players anymore.
They've removed them from computers, which threw me off because I still build my tower. So I was like, what? I still need an optical drive. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
And then cars have slowly stopped including them as a default.
Yeah, it's so weird. It perplexed me because here I am. I was ordering CDs and I was like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun. This is awesome and something tangible. And then here we are with some CDs and nobody has a CD player. And they're like, do you have it digitally? And I'm like,
Yes.
So true story. I was actually.
Do you guys have a Bandcamp?
We don't.
That'd be probably the best.
I probably should get a Bandcamp. We're on Spotify.
That's good too.
So we're on Spotify. I got that one worked out. I think I'm still working out the iTunes thing.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't very good. You might have to help me with that later or something.
Pothole.
Well, like I said, I ordered CDs, so it kind of shows you how long it's been since I've done any promoting.
Well, I mean, cassettes are coming back. If you want to know something weird.
Oh, that is weird. People do know that those don't sound that great, right?
What? Vinyl's the best sounding thing ever. What are you talking about?
But
It's not horrible though either.
Vinyl has its place. Like, okay, so that's like asking, like, would you rather listen to the Kinks in mono or stereo?
Stereo.
See, I'd rather listen to it mono because it just that sound just like
That lo-fi edition.
Exactly. I don't know what it is. Like, just something about that sound just sounds so good just in monos. Like,
I mean, the other thing is vinyl's gotten better because now computers are doing the pressing.
see,
They've done better, but
I don't just like I like stuff on vinyl. I love that crackling, right? If even on our
that's then you can do just by having a bad needle.
So I love that sound. Like even on the first Madd Dog Tannen LP or EP, whatever. If you listen to the original version of the ska song,
It has that.
I put the effect on there, or I should have said we all put the effect on there to make it sound like a record coming on. So you
I like
hear
that you're
fuzz.
not controlling.
Oh, dang it, I'm doing better than I was when I was actually paying attention.
Right? You actually just are like, no hands.
No hands. Yeah. So we actually did that on there. And I'm a huge fan of like adding like distortion to like the voice to make it sound like it's kind of like distorted from like a record and stuff, right?
Yes. Well, that's been the thing about the digital stuff, is that now it's an effect that you apply in its production, than it is something you get this crisp, clean, at least with the right people, you get the crisp, clean mix.
True, huh?
Wow.
So I actually did that on Take Cover. There's kind of like some distortion added to my voice to kind of fill it in and make it sound just a little bit, I don't know if dirty's the right word, because it's not quite dirty, but it's not quite,
Dub.
just to add a little bit to it.
That dub sound is considered dirty.
Dirty. So just to give it a little more character. How about that?
A little dirty
Give it a
reggae.
little more character.
What's that, Agrolites? Dirty reggae?
Dirty reggae, yeah. Yes, it is. So we're big fans of doing stuff like that and already, and so I like the record sound, but tapes, come on, tapes don't.
They were coming back. I think it's the idea of collecting. And like with vinyl too, it's the idea of having a collectible, not as common format, which is funny because CDs are now becoming that.
I know, right? See, me and my
So-
wife still have a stack of CDs. Like,
Oh, I do.
In
You
the
can see
closet.
them over there, and
yeah.
they're over on the desk.
I
And
think I have them all in spindles though. I didn't keep my cases and my nice stuff.
I still have a habit, though now I have a pile, of trying to put ticket stubs in the most recent album of an artist. So some of those have ticket stubs in them.
I used to have ticket stubs, and I don't know what happened to
We'll
them.
call.
I lost
We'll
them.
call Hafton.
Oh, we'll call, yeah.
Half the time I'm just a name on a list now. I'm like, okay. Marquis still does it, and Van Buren, and
Oh yeah, they do, huh?
I think that's. It's just the mid-size, the bigger venues still give you a ticket because they need something tangible.
Oh, fired again.
Even when you go to a Suns game with a digital ticket, they print you a ticket so you can show ushers and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
It's almost like a waste of paper.
Yeah, well, it is a waste of paper, but they apparently still need something tangible. You can't just show them on your phone every time you need to.
Wow.
Yeah, weird, right? So what's your favorite non-Back to the Future Robert Zemeckis film?
Frighteners.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I know that's kind of off the wall, huh?
It is.
I love that movie.
I got introduced to one of his films from Wayne Forrest. Shout out. He's probably not watching. But, was it Route 60 or Highway 60? Or is it Bob Gale? Oh, wait, no, never mind. That's not Zemeckis. That's Bob Gale. He also has hands and stuff.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
But it's
I
about
don't
a
know that
fictitious
one.
highway that exists sometimes through magic.
Really? I'm gonna have to check that
Oh
out.
god, now I'm forgetting the name now. I don't think that's the right name. This is why I have a phone. I'd say Roger Rabbit.
Oh, you know what? I always forget that Roger Rabbit.
That's my
is
favorite
Zemeckis.
film.
That is a really good one. That's a good one.
I see Bob Gale, who also, he's been the more supportive. He was the one that co-wrote the Telltale game.
Yes, which was amazing.
Bob Gale, all of them were Back to the Future. Interstate 60, that's the one that is.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
I
not
heard about that
Zemeckis
one.
though.
It's just Bob Gale.
It's got James Marsden in it.
Nice.
Gary Oldman.
James Marsden. I loved him as Cyclops.
Oldman plays a weird
Kid Oldman's awesome.
I am playing. Oldman plays like a weird, I think it's like leprechaun thing.
Does he?
It's
Wow.
it's a good movie. It goes under the radar.
Interstate 60.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
It doesn't actually exist.
I'm still stuck on that whole Roger Rabbit and Zemeckis film. I totally
Yes.
forgot. 'Cause that one is really good.
Right? Especially for the time, the special effects.
I'd even argue that special effects still stand up today.
Zemeckis just had a
Still
recent
do.
film come out that wasn't horrible and wasn't kind of in the middle for me. What was it? I watched it. I can't remember its name, but I didn't even realize it was a Zemeckis film until the credits. I was like, "Oh, really?" Because
Check this out.
he used to be big on pushing special effects and stuff. Because, well, actually, Back to the Future, the technology used with Roger Rabbit, all that stuff at that time for Zemeckis was pushing special effects and boundaries.
Did Robert Zemeckis do Forrest Gump too?
No, that was Spielberg.
When is that coming out?
Unless he's a producer or something on it.
Maybe he is. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's infamously Spielberg, isn't it? Unless I'm missing my history about
He was
Forrest
just
Gump.
it was one of those people also search for.
Oh, I was going to say.
So when people search Robert Zemeckis, they search for Forrest Gump too. Wow. Okay.
Movers.
Let's see. What's he recently known for? All filmography.
Contact.
Oh, producer. We want a
Writer,
director.
producer, director.
The Witches 2020. What?
Oh yeah, Welcome to
Welcome to
Tomorrow.
Marwood. Oh, that was looking actually interesting.
That movie wasn't. It didn't knock my socks off it was entertaining. It was just, it's kind of a CG film too,
Is it?
because some of the storytelling's done through the story he's telling,
or whatever, right?
but they're animated as CG. Where I felt that movie was kind of thin was the overall plot of how he lost his memory when he got beat up by a bunch of Nazi assholes.
Huh.
That was kind of like shallowly developed.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, so this is the big life-altering thing, but we're not going to really discuss it or go into too much detail about it other than the court case is looming, and alright, we're at the court case.
Okay, so according to this, he did direct
Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump.
Huh. Was Spielberg just producer?
And Death Becomes Her.
And also, that's funny, so his name's tied to a bunch of special effects stuff.
All kinds of stuff, yeah.
Alright, favorite video game growing up?
Oh, that's easy. Piece of cake. Super Mario Brothers 3.
We've gone full circle.
Okay, so Super Mario Brothers 3, when I was in elementary school, when I was in high school...
You watched The Wizard.
Well, no, well, yeah, everyone watched The Wizard at that time.
Spoiler, tells you how to get the whistle.
Yep. That was like the biggest commercial ever. Like,
Yes. And it was still a better plot than the actual Super Mario Brothers movie plot.
I recently had my kids watch that. So because I have two. So Super Mario Bros. 3 is still hands down like my favorite game, right? But it's tied with Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Good choice.
So I got a funny story about that. When Ocarina of Time came out, me and my buddy Brandon were in high school together. We ditched school
Just to play?
for a week to beat that game.
I just lost sleep.
We ditched school. Like, I went over to pick him up, and we were like, nope, we're playing this game.
That was 1998.
Was it 98?
Yes.
So I was a junior, and he was a freshman.
Metal Gear was new. Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear was not new.
Snake. So we did school for a week, and then I think it had to have been Friday, the last day, and we were like so close to the end.
Just we're like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm just gonna knock over your trash and break a window.
So we get to, I think it had to have been Friday or something, right? And Brandon's dad comes home unexpectedly during school, and we're sitting there playing this game, and all I remember was, Brian, go home. Brandon, get in the car. You're going back to school, and we're like, oh shit. And
makes me think of that Simpsons episode where Homer and Bart are ditching. Wait, are you not at work? No.
Oh my god, I totally remember that episode. I totally remember that episode.
He runs into it at the arcade.
So yeah, it was totally one of those things where we literally ditched the entire week. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, so close. Ditched the entire week to beat this game, and we made it up until the last point when his dad came home and broke up the party.
Oh man.
Our life when we were in Lamos was basically we'd go in the garage, we'd smoke cigarettes, we'd play video games, and we'd play music.
Hey look!
Oh, hey look!
Oh wait, we did
Here
this
we go.
together. Wow, this is a first. We both hit it. Can we knock each other over? Ah, crap! I'm done.
So that was our life in the big.
Did you get into Majora's Mask the same way?
No, we did not. Or I didn't either. I actually haven't been into a Zelda game since that hardcore.
It's like, I've got Zelda on.
Yep. Yep.
I think my favorite 3D Zelda is not Ocarina. I think it's Wind Waker.
That was a good one.
And it's aged well visually. I noticed when they did the re-release.
That was the cell animation, huh? That was
when they
beautiful.
did the re-release on the Wii U, it was like, this looks good, even for a game that's like 10 years.
Right?
Was that 10
It does
years?
look good.
Yeah, because that was GameCube, and then Wii U.
Yep.
I was like, this did well. Well, actually, no. Now I think it's actually Breath of the Wild, but that was my favorite. But of that type of 3D, it was Wind Waker.
That was a good one. But now, if you ask me now what my favorite video game, it would be the Batman Arkham series.
Now, Arkham City versus Arkham Knight.
Uh-huh.
City was better, wasn't it?
Well,
The plot was better, and it was a little more tighter.
Yep. Well, because you have Arkham Knight was Red Hood, retelling of Red Hood, which I loved. I still loved it.
That's
right?
true.
But Arkham City, I'd agree, it had a stronger storyline. It did. But a lot of people,
Though I enjoyed all the Jokers.
right?
You just pop out of nowhere, like, holy fuck, okay, never mind. Where are we going?
Good.
That scared the crap out of me, though.
That was good, yes. Also, like Arkham Origins got, like, so much, like, crap. You know what I mean? But it was a good storyline, too. Like, they did a really good job of, like, doing, like, an origin, almost like a first-year Batman. Oh, those little girls had to be right there?
How does she not fall over?
I don't know. I loved the one scene too in Arkham Origins when it shows the Joker becoming obsessed with Batman, right? When he saves him from falling after he kills all those people. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Well, that was the other thing, was the voice cast was different.
The voice cast was different, but
Kevin Conroy.
they emulated is what they did, so Batman. I was okay with it.
Oh dear, dear, dear.
That's pretty good, actually.
Holly, you led him right to us.
Have you seen the Child's Play? The new Child's Play? I think it was me.
Yeah.
You seen the new Child's Play?
Oh, and it sounds just like him. It's Mark Hamill. The trailer doesn't look as yeah.
Oh, Steven must be listening. Hi, Steven. Yes, it was awesome. He was like, yeah. If you ask any Batman fan, Kevin Conroy is the ultimate Batman.
He's the best voice, and actually the best written, because all this stuff is good.
That's true. Yeah, everything they
less neon.
Now, if Kevin Conroy is the best Batman voice, is he also the best Bruce Wayne?
Yes.
Right? That's hard, right? It's kind of tough, huh?
Now I'm thinking about it.
I really liked Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne. I really liked it.
I was thinking Michael Keaton for a little bit. His verse.
Keaton was good, but he's super melancholy.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
With his weird
kind of
therapist stuff.
Yeah, the therapist. Yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would assume someone who turns himself into
a therapist is, yeah.
I mean, that happened in, oh gosh, was it the Kevin Smith Batman comics that he was seeing a therapist and then he ended up dating?
Marrying, yeah.
And then also Kevin Smith introduced a villain in that comic, didn't he?
Cacophony.
Yeah.
Cacophony was the name of the book. Onomatopoeia.
Yes, who appeared in the, was it Arrow? Or
did he?
He appeared in the live...
I haven't gotten into Arrow or Flash yet.
Well, Arrow's going to end as good news, so you have a finite end.
A set to watch.
But yeah, I think they brought Onomatopoeia into it.
Nice. That was a good character, especially because he
and I think it's season 4 actually took a whole Batman story arc.
Ooh, did it?
With a certain person being Raish's, or Ra's al Ghul, favored person and wanting him to marry his daughter in here. But it wasn't Talia, it was his other daughter. I'm like, this is completely Batman. Why did they take this story?
Did you watch Gotham at all?
For 2 seasons until I was like, I don't like this.
Okay. Well, it ended exactly the way it should have ended, but also very anticlimactic.
I heard they couldn't use the name Batman. That he's never addressed as that name.
He's not, no. He's not. You see him in the suit, though.
Yes.
You get to see him in the suit.
They couldn't also use the name Joker.
They never used it, yeah. Is it because, I wonder if it's because it was Fox, huh?
Well, it's still DC giving them the rights.
That's true.
But
I wonder why they couldn't say
it's
that.
like with Teen Titans before Go, that they couldn't use certain Batman. They couldn't use any Batman villains, and they couldn't use Batman, I think, because of but they could use Robin, man.
Weird. All these contracts and
Because
stipulations.
of Justice League Unlimited running simultaneously with it, I think.
Oh.
That was the agreement that they could use Robin, but they couldn't use Batman villains. Well, I guess that counts. It was something like that on why you didn't hear or see any of those
That
characters.
is why DC is not good at making decisions.
Well, so DC, they have the Superman and the Batman groups, and then everyone else.
Yeah.
So when you license it, you're licensing from the Superman group, or you're licensing from the Batman group. They're not unified as one just giant licensing group.
Oh, jeez. One day they'll get it. One day.
What's his name? Brave and the Bold. That was a really good Batman series.
You know what? I haven't
And
seen
he
that
did a
one.
good voice, and I'm forgetting his name right now. And all I can think of is Bateman. But they also did an episode of Batman from Zuranar,
Yeah?
where it was Kevin Conroy came back as the Batman of Zuranar, and they drew him more in the Bruce Timm style.
Ooh, nice.
And they had Clancy Brown was Lex Luthor.
Ooh, nice.
He played Lex on this planet, and the voice of Lois came back for that episode too.
Really? From Superman animated series one?
Yep, it was all.
Nice.
They used the Batman of Zuranar as a way to give a nod to the Bruce Timm stuff.
Nice. Bruce Timm did make. He wrote amazing for the animated series.
That's gonna bug me. But no, so Brave and the Bold, I kind of got into. It was funny because then listening to Fat Man on Batman at the time. Now it's Batman Beyond.
Is that what it is? Oh my
Yes.
God. I was listening to that all the time.
Diedrich Bader. He does this like good Batman voice.
Does he?
He's reprised it in something too. But yeah, I was like, this is pretty good. It's also like was it Golden Age Batman? And they did a favorite comic book story of mine, The Reign of Emperor Joker. But they did it with, so Harley Quinn doesn't exist in that era of, man, frame rate just died. Doesn't exist in that period. So they kind of created a reimagination of Harley if she existed in Golden Age comics.
Oh, really? Wow. That would be interesting.
But they did that story, and I was like, thank you. They did a lot of really good nods and references to, and Kevin Smith went to it after it aired and has praised it from high
I'm not
since. It's one of the three, including Batman Beyond, Batman series I own.
Did you like the Batman? Did you ever watch that one?
The one where he fights Dracula. No, it was okay.
I really liked it towards the end when they started incorporating the Justice League thing.
I didn't actually see those episodes. I know it was the same writer as Jackie Chan Adventures.
Was it?
Yes.
And
they're directed
I was trying to remember
DVD.
if he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was the one where they did the movie, the Batman
Who
vs.
fights
Dracula.
Right.
Yeah.
Really? This is your
So-
okay.
If you ever get a chance to watch through those ones actually do get good, and they actually set up Justice League, and they have a really good kind of Batman versus Superman storyline in there.
Insane. They kind of. It was an interesting interpretation of Batman.
What always threw me off was the claws. He always had these like nail claws
Yes.
thing, and you're just like, okay, whatever.
I remember I watched. It was a joint panel of them and Justice League Unlimited at Comic Con, and so they first went with the Batman, and they showed a clip of them fighting Dracula. I got shushed for making fun of it. For being an ultimate nerd of, as nerds do, finding the way to complain about fictional characters and how this is not correct, and mocking something in the clip.
Isn't that our job though sometimes?
Like, this doesn't exist. I don't know why I'm taking it this seriously, but alright. But then again, that's why I didn't get into Gotham. Well, I got into Gotham, then I stopped watching after the Firefly episode, where I'm like, this isn't even correct.
Oh, yes.
You guys just keep burning bridges for me.
Well, what they did is they basically just, because DC's cop out is the Infinity. No, not the Infinity.
It's an Elseworld.
Elseworlds, exactly.
And that's been the strongest argument people give me. They're like, that's just their interpretation of it. I'm like, it doesn't. Sure.
Yep. Just exactly how when we get this new Batman introduced.
Right.
Everything before this was an Elseworld. That was Earth 236.
But if Gordon is this good at thwarting super villains, why is Batman?
Yep. Well, it doesn't help. Like you said you got through season 2, right?
Yeah.
And Bruce
Firefly
was
is the
like,
last one I remember. And oh my gosh, I hated Jada Pinkett Smith's character, Fish Mooney.
Oh, Fish Mooney. Yep.
I was like, she's dead, good, and they're like, oh no, she's not. Oh damn it! I was so happy.
Although we did get some good stuff out. Like
Harvey was good.
Harvey was good.
Penguin was really good.
Penguin was amazing. He got even better as the seasons went on, and so did the Riddler.
And Paul Rubin. And yeah, Riddler.
And the Riddler got really good.
They found a way to make him get dark and then
dark and still stay with like the whole narcissistic attitude.
Yes.
Like, he was, yeah. I'd love to see that guy do more Riddler stuff, to tell you the truth. Like,
I don't know if I will ever casually watch the rest of Gotham. But yeah. I watched some of it.
Casually, so you'd be open to being forced to watch it.
Okay. New video segment. Every show Joe watches Gotham. And
do it Mystery Science Theater 3000 style.
We set up a camera with
set up a camera and everything, yep, and just be like, oh my god.
Man.
But have yourself duct taped like to a chair or something too. So.
Eyes taped open. With
Yeah.
Scotch tape.
Ooh, maybe get one of those
Batman
machines
Band-Aids?
Ooh, Batman. I was thinking those eye opener things that they had in Clockwork Orange where they made his eyes look all crazy.
Yes.
I think I'm fired. Yup. Oh dang, what's going on, Joe?
Well, and the other, God, there's so many good things. So Paul Dini,
Paul Dini, yes.
He wrote episodes including the finale of Brave and the Bold, and the final episode includes.
Well, Dini was the other writer. Bruce Timm and Dini was the one who did all the Batman animated series anyway. So.
That's true.
So.
Now all I can think of is Batfink. What's the Batman fan from the Fifth Dimension?
Batmite.
Batmite. So it's him and
I'm really geeking out here.
and Henry Winkler as
Henry Winkler, nice.
As Ambush Bug. This is the finale of Brave and the Bold, and it is them going back and forth on how to fix the show before it gets stale.
Oh, I love it.
And there is a joke about jumping the shark with Ambush Bug, voiced by Henry Winkler.
Oh my god.
But on top of that, they actually go through these different reboots, including the Bat Luge and the Bat, like making fun of the toys that never made sense that were made for shows. Like the whole last episode of Brave and the Bold is amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
you know what? As a 10-year-old boy or 9-year-old boy when or 8 was it 8? Anyway, as a young man, when Batman 1989 came out and we had the toys, right? Everyone was there, yeah. I could not for the life of me figure out why they made a gold Batman suit.
Right? He's trying to hide in the dark.
I'm sitting there going like, you know what? Even 10-year-old me was like, why are you making a camouflage Batman suit? Like, it doesn't make sense.
It's from when he goes out during the day.
So, I could never figure this whole toy thing out. I'm just like, why would you do like alternate costumes and the most ridiculous ones like that? You know? And then we had Joel Schumacher make them come to life, and you're like, this is exactly why we don't do that.
Neon.
Wow.
That Harvey could have been Lando.
Right?
And then it changed.
Right?
Yes.
Wow.
So if I've achieved anything, I've at least sold you on going and watching Brave and the Bold.
Yes.
It's really well done. It just, unfortunately, with everything really well done, doesn't get the ratings that they want and dies on the vine.
True that.
Like The Tick.
Oh, I heard about that. Which, going back around to Green Day, they actually have a really good cover of Basket Case on that show.
Do they really?
Yes.
Wait, did I just not pay attention enough?
You might not pay attention enough. There is a really good cover from the Tick soundtrack that's Basket Case. I forgot the guy's name who sings it, but it's all slow and kind of melancholy, and I was like, wow, I'm kind of digging this.
At least Green Day. Just, I like Green Day. Blink-182 is making me realize how much I like when you can, yes, you can grow in your sound and you can change, but don't keep changing it. Unless you're the Gorillas.
You know what? Your favorite band's NoFX. You buy it on NoFX album. You know exactly what you're
For the most part.
You know what you're getting.
I actually think their last album was really good, but then I've had this discussion with, was it Johnny Gimmick, of he feels it changed and got low quality. I'm like, I think it's good and it's got a rawer sound, and they finally made some changes that work. But whatever.
It's kind of off the wall, but you know, do you remember when?
And it's more personal.
Remember when Metallica did what was it? Monster. What was that one? Was it Garage Monster or was it Monster? I can't remember what it was, but it came out when I was in high school, and I remember my buddy Brandon getting it, and we listened to it, and it was where they went for that raw sound where everything was like super minimum quality, produced, and who knows? It's Metallica, so they probably I'm gonna break your window too.
Just like you broke Napster.
So he had that, I can't remember what it's called, but he had the Metallica album, and I remember listening to it, and I was like intrigued by the sound, but also like kind of disgusted at the same time, because I think it just got too, it sounded like Lars was playing in a garage. Like it literally sounded like they went in there with like a 4-track recorder and they made an album, I
mean, that's good. I mean, depends what you're looking for. I mean, I like going back and listening to Blatz, who I discovered through that Turn It Around documentary. I was like, I've never listened to this band. They sound rad. But they have that like lo-fi punk sound, and I'm like, this is good and slightly refreshing.
You know what? Every time I listen to Bikini Kill, I think the same thing. Because Bikini Kill has like the worst mixes and the worst recordings ever. But something about like the low quality in it just makes you like just really appreciate it, because that one totally sounds it was done like in a hallway with a 2-track mixer. I
mean, I know of some current bands that have recorded in a closet.
Hey, I get it. We've done that before. We totally have. I'll tell you a secret. I know zombies, Walking Dead, meets Paperboy now. Actually, being in the studio is one of my least favorite things to do, to tell you the truth. I love the live shows. I love the energy. I love going through that whole thing. The studio is hard for me because, obviously, because I'm all over the place and just have all this pent up energy wherever we're playing. Who knows? It could be just the Red Bull vodkas or whatever talking, but
also good.
Yeah, right. That's how I get. If everyone wants to know how I get through the shows and get such high energy,
Red Bull vodkas.
Red Bull vodkas. Red Bull vodkas are my drink of choice before we play. So close.
Splash Zone.
So
That's good.
Anyway, my big thing is I love the live shows. The studio is hard for me to sit there and keep doing it over and over.
That's true, because you're also recording it to get the right sound.
Yep.
And I don't know, do you guys do instruments separately or together, or
separately?
Okay.
Separately, in this last album we actually did with the metronome. This time
to keep the pace.
So,
Kyle, you're not doing your job. Apparently, they're replacing you with a metronome.
Exactly. Actually, Kyle has been threatened a couple times with drum machines. So they've done amazing things with drum. I know, poor Kyle. Kyle always gets like he doesn't just get it from me either. He gets it from everyone. We do love Kyle though.
He's rad. He can't bowl.
He's such a good sport too.
Yes.
He makes the funniest faces too.
Animated.
Very animated.
So hopefully Kyle's listened for an hour and a half to know that we're talking about him.
I know.
And mostly
it's not
praising
too
him.
bad.
Holy crap, it's been over an hour and a half.
Nice. We're going for gold here.
This conversation, it's been good. We've been bouncing off each other well.
Oh yeah. Chemistry.
Yes.
But
Like Batman does in the Batcave. or Ivy does in a lab, and then it blows up in her face.
Oh. Just like that. Just right in your
Yes.
face.
Alright, I guess we probably should wrap up since it's going on 1:45.
Wow.
I've been going a while. And I think I just got a message saying the Vegas Tennis will be going on in about 20 minutes.
There's shows to go.
Well, originally they were 7, so, but we'll see. But yeah, so where can they find you on the interwebs?
All right. Currently, right now, we have no website.
Ah,
Right. But we do still have the Facebook, which is where you can get everything all up to date. Facebook, Instagram, just search Madd Dog Tannen. But always remember the Madd is spelled with 2 D's. MaddDogTannen. Yeah. You'll find us. Joe always links us up.
and Spotify.
And Spotify, yes. Spotify. Or just talk to one of us. I'm sure we'll hook you up with something.
Yes. All right, and on my end, of course, well, let's see, where should we start? If you're watching live or on YouTube, subscribe, get notifications when we go live, and also if you are around when we're streaming, you can participate in the Twitch chat. I think there's supposedly a subscriber. I don't know if I can do it. No, if I can't do it. But if there's a way, you can also donate on Twitch. Plus, patreon.com/everyshowjoe. You can always donate on there for sure. Even $1, I always say, can help me out. Helps me cover costs of drive to, we have to drive, and for food of punk rock bowling and all of the tickets, that kind of stuff. I should be looking at the camera, not the TV. I've noticed it looks weird when I'm like staring off instead of looking at the people. But also, yes, head over to everyshowjoe.com right now. I also got pictures from the Bash up. Also have pictures from Death by Stereo up. Some really awesome stuff currently up, and for the most part, recent. And in real time on social media, I'm Every Show Joe, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. There we go.
Everything.
I'm rusty. It's been like 3 weeks since I think I've done the video. So next week I will be at Punk Rock Bowling, so there won't be an episode. But following that, I think it's either Audrey Hartburn or Sad Dance Party. We'll figure that out.
Nice.
As long as you tune in, or you'll just keep track, it'll be posted. So until I can move this mouse over here, until next episode, you guys take care, have fun, and I don't have a catchphrase.
How about thank you, everybody?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joe, for having us.
That's my pleasure. Now we're going to click.